Hey, what's up guys? We're back at again to skillfully outmaneuver mid-ladder. We're gonna be using this Hog Rider Cycle Deck to outplay opponents that ruthlessly spam at the river, and run aggressive decks that you have to be on point to defend, or run chaotic decks that you have no clue what they're playing. When this deck is executed well and you're better than your opponent, it's simple, you will win. But there's multiple layers of learning with advanced defensive sequences with skeletons and ice spirits, ice golem kiting, Hog Rider cycling at the right points, and constantly keeping your firecrackers alive, allowing you to extract maximum value from your cards so you can play this deck at the highest level. Even if you're using this deck to stomp mid-ladder monsters like me, you can still use this deck at the top of the game like the rank 13 player in the world. Because the skill ceiling is so high, there's always room to grow and improve. It's time to play quick and calculative to improve our skill and assert dominance. And huge Hog Rider love to everyone that's using creator code SirTag to make all the hyper videos possible. In the heart of mid-ladder, we are perfectly positioned to dominate our opponents and push up with skill. It's going to be funny because all of our opponents are going to be playing like really brainless spam decks. Maybe Mega Knight or P.E.K.K.A. in most of the matches, and if I don't play well, I will lose. One of my favorite things to do against P.E.K.K.A. is when the P.E.K.K.A. is out of cycle, you can Hog Rider mini P.E.K.K.A. And if you think about it, they don't have great ways of captivating your mini P.E.K.K.A. They don't have that many distractions. So the mini P.E.K.K.A. will destroy their dreams and really do a ton of damage. So if you're playing against people that have Wizard and I guess like Royal Ghost and Bandit, it doesn't work so well for them. Also, mini P.E.K.K.A. in the face of Ram Rider is fantastic. So we're gonna go and drop that and take, oh, we did get a charge. Huh. Usually that doesn't happen. I should have dropped it a little bit faster. You live and learn and you always get a little bit better. And also you learn from your mistakes. But he is not making as many mistakes as we were hoping. He can easily activate King Tower here with the Ice Spirit, so that's fun. And then I can Hog Rider here afterward. So I want to use an Evolved Firecracker into this P.E.K.K.A. because the P.E.K.K.A. is going to stay stationary for a sec, even though he takes no damage against the Hog Rider. This Firecracker is a recipe for disaster for our dude. And look at it. It's still going away. It's still making moves. It's still making plays for days.
Hey, Vsauce. Massive legend here.
So we can get an Ice Golem down and then get Skeletons down, and he still can't touch this. Dude, there's no way. That thing is a menace. And he's going to have to Ghost or Zap it, and he zaps. Makes sense, makes sense. You know what? What if I ran it back? There's no way he's ever going to anticipate a second Firecracker right after he killed the first one. He's like, I just dealt with that. But we're back in business. Oh, man. I know how I said I was going to skillfully push the way up, and no one's going to believe me because they're like, Firecracker skill? What do you mean, Jake? Y'all have to just trust me for a second. This deck isn't the easiest to play, especially as you get higher up. But against lower ladder players, it's fun because you can outmaneuver them. And the Firecracker lets you break through even though the guy has multiple ways of, shutting me down. I shouldn't ever get a Hog Rider through this. Let's not mistake that for a single second. If you're playing against Ram Rider and a P.E.K.K.A., you should easily lose that every time. I'm going to have to go for a mini P.E.K.K.A. here on the Royal Ghost. And notice how I pulled the P.E.K.K.A. away. So then, obviously, if the P.E.K.K.A. is going directly where it wants to, we're going to have a pretty bad time. All right. We can Hog Rider Firecracker again, and then we should win the game. Also, we can evolve Skeleton's other side with an Ice Golem. And it's going to be funny because he has to respond to that with a Zap. But if he doesn't have Elixir against the Firecracker. So even if the evolved Skeletons don't do what they're supposed to do and take the tower, it just limits the opponent's Elixir potential so they can't deal with the opposite threat. So, the Firecracker staying alive, that is pure pain for our guy. And I think he lost to it. Oh my goodness. How rattled are you right now? It's not fair playing against this deck. When someone plays it well, the Firecrackers stay alive forever. It's time to make everyone in mid-ladder miserable, showing them how to actually use Firecracker correctly. Even if they have arrows in their deck, because our deck has such a quick card cycle, we'll get back to another Firecracker before they're back to arrows for our second Firecracker. So what I'm saying is this deck is destined to pop off. This guy's got Drill in the banner, and he knows the drill by now. We're going to be spamming Skeletons and Ice Spirit as fast as possible to relinquish a little bit of Elixir, but get to our evolution. Also, cycle your Firecracker directly in front of the wall breakers, otherwise it's going to whiff. You do not want to cycle your Firecracker in the middle and have it miss wall breakers. This guy is going to go for Firecracker and recruits, so I think in this position it's ideal for us to go in for a King Tower activation, log, Ice Spirit, and then finish off the Firecracker with the Ice Spirit. Yo, let's get it. So, brilliantly getting the Ice Golem down in the last possible second enables us to defend this without losing the entire game. But it's going to be a ton of damage. And I think that the Firecracker might hit one of the wall breakers, but it's not enough for us to kill him. So overall, pretty decisive advantage for us if it's a 1-0 victory. But if we lose a tower, we're in some serious trouble. This is one of those matches when you play against someone with recruits and you only have Firecracker as your sole source of splash damage and they arrows away the Firecracker, the game can get really dicey. So I want to go in for skeletons here all on the same side because he just relinquished his arrows and I don't know if he's going to have a good response to those. I genuinely don't think he does because without arrows in cycle, you lose, right? Yeah, he's going to have to Mighty Miner and that's not going to work out. So I'm going to defend a Royal Recruits push and we'll win the game. All right, so the final recruits push is upon us, but he has to arrows that, and he'll not get back to arrows for the second cycle of the Firecracker. And that's one of my favorite things with this deck. You can get back to multiple Firecrackers before your opponent's back to bashing you. So despite him having a pretty annoying offensive deck, we do have ways of defending it. Oh, wait. We got to go for a Firecracker here so we stop the Void from doing enough damage. Holy. That was slightly more sketchy than I intended just because I didn't really realize that the guy had Void. I thought we were 100% chilling and then he whips out that randomly. Even when a no-skill Royal Recruit spam deck has arrows to easily eliminate your Firecracker, you can cycle more Firecrackers than they can arrows so you'll win the match. All right, so we got another one here. This guy's got Cannoneer and he's immediately going to go for a Goblin Barrel off to the side. So I'm able to deduce where that is because you look at the evolution purple thing, and since I saw the purple little diamond on the right side, I dropped my Firecracker and calibrated it to the Goblin Barrel. Then I could save my log for offense, so I could even drop it on the Rascals if I wanted to. I'm not going to. Instead, I'm going to Earthquake to slow down my opponent's cards so they can't get on top of the Firecracker. And notice how we are toppling our dude with a huge amount of damage, and now we're able to release our log. So generally in this predicament for the opponent, he is going to try to get his damage back. He's going to drop the Goblin Barrel directly on the tower, but the Firecracker is still a never-ending nightmare. And that's why we love the card. It is so much fun to play when the opponent doesn't have the appropriate answers to it immediately. So usually when we see a deck that is playing Rascals and no Inferno Tower, it means that they're not going to have a building. So he's bound to drop something directly in front of his tower to stop the Hog Rider, and we're going to make a prediction with the Firecracker. So, wow. 2 Firecracker shots in the tower, and we eliminated an entire Goblin Gang while cycling to our Firecracker evolution. And that's why this deck is so annoying for opponents when you play it well. I knew we wouldn't take more damage than him, so I made the concession of eating the goblins on the left side so I could do a lot more value. All right, I'm going to just stack a little bit of damage here on the left-hand side if he wants to spend a bunch of elixir. I think he's going to go on the right with the real Goblin Barrel. So we're going to log that instead, and maybe the skeletons can find a way on the tower. I mean, he's got Cannoneer, so he has to defend that too. He's going to log, but he has nothing left over for the mini P.E.K.K.A. gallivanting through, and another easy win right out of the jump. Double elixir hasn't even hit, and we hit this guy up with a huge loss. Guys, we're going to go bold and try to 3-crown this guy. There's no way he's stopping that mini P.E.K.K.A. What is he doing? So he got so caught up in taking one tower that he wasn't able to salvage any of his. It's remarkable that the guy's clan was a mini P.E.K.K.A. symbol. It's almost as if he knew what was going to happen. Or maybe he let us take all 3 of his towers to pay tribute to his favorite card in the game, the mini P.E.K.K.A. Noah's got an elixir golem in the banner, and he is sick to his stomach even though he's playing the dirty deck. Bro, you should make everyone else traumatized, not yourself. I guess there's just like a side effect of playing Elixir Golem where the karma bites you in the butt. Anyway, we're going to use a Hog Rider directly into a Tesla, so it doesn't look like we're playing against an Elixir Golem deck today. Generally, if that's going to be the case, if you're going to be playing into a Tesla Ice Spirit deck, it's going to be one of 2 things. Goblin Drill, which it's most likely going to be since we see the Demolisher, or it could be an Expo deck, which is very unlikely in this meta right now. So we're going to Firecracker directly on top of the Demolisher, and I think we will be able to find some damage. If I can Ice Spirit, and then Hog Rider, I don't know if it's going to go well, but I want to keep this Firecracker alive forever. I have dreams that will not become memes, guys. We will keep this Firecracker alive. He's going to drill directly into me, which is not ideal, but it is what it is. We go skeletons here and then get the drill a little bit lower so then we can log on everything and then go for a mini P.E.K.K.A. on top of the Demolisher so it doesn't hit my tower. But if you guys haven't identified, his deck is overpowered. This is one of the best decks in the game that everyone plays. And for us to win it, I actually do have to play better than him. This is not an easy matchup. The strategy for us is simple. We want to outcycle his building so then we can build up an offense with a Hog Rider and then Firecracker on whatever defensive units he's using. So for instance, if he's going to go in for Skeletons and Ice Spirit, well, the Firecracker will hit that and it'll give us value. If he goes in for a Demolisher, we will be able to spring into some action with the Firecracker popping off on the tower too. So I'm going to Ice Spirit here. He did just use his log, which is a pretty big misplay on his end, in my opinion. If we can get a mini P.E.K.K.A directly on top of the drill, and then we Hog Rider on the other side, this could work out wonderfully for us. He is going to go in for a log for sure on one of the sides, but the other side will not get any protection. Oh, wait. He's going to log left. He has to log left. There's no way that those Evolved Skeletons are going to break through an Evolved Tesla in that positioning, but, I mean, it's kind of annoying for him for sure. Oh my gosh, they were making their moves. They were making plays. It didn't work out, but it was cool. And it's also nice and chill to see the Ice Golem headbutting the tower like that. I'm going to Hog Rider and get back to another Hog Rider before he's back to a building. And even if he does go Tesla, it should be late. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what we like to see. So, since our deck has a quicker card cycle and we outmaneuver our opponent, and if he's frantically dropping a card, he doesn't get it down in time, he's just going to face the ramifications of getting rammed by the Hog. So we're going to go in for an Ice Spirit, and then we're going to mini P.E.K.K.A directly afterward. Hopefully we lock onto the Demolisher, and then I just dislike how much damage that thing does for the elixir it costs. It's kind of crazy if you ask me. We're going to get an Ice Golem down here, and then Skeletons, and then mini P.E.K.K.A. Hopefully we need to go in for a mini P.E.K.K.A on top of this Goblin Drill Evolution. It does so much damage. We are still in a decent position, but not a game-winning position at all. We're trying to go Hog Rider here. I could go Firecracker Evolution, but I think that's a bad decision. I'm going to go Earthquake on offense for some extra damage. And he's trying to cycle a Drill on defense because he knows it's a good decision. Since if you go Drill on defense, then you can get back to the Evolution a bit quicker. And it works the same as a Tesla if it's able to defend, right? So he's just trying to defend with it. All right, we can Hog here, simultaneously defending with Evolved Skeletons because that's a pretty cheap mechanism for us. It's not like you can log on that immediately anyway. So Evo Tesla's out of sight. That's nice. We might want to start cycling some Earthquakes on the tower once his tower's a little bit lower. But at 2,000 HP, we just can't justify it. Gonna log does not kill the Firecracker, so that's huge. Now we can go Earthquake on the tower here. And then possibly slow down the Knight and hit the Tesla predictive. Nice! Yo! Get outplayed, my guy. And then we can Firecracker because you don't have Tesla in cycle. And you're not able to stop it. He has to go Demolisher. And then we can Ice Spirit. Maybe get Skeletons down so the Demolisher doesn't hit the Firecracker. But it will because it's going to explode, right? No, it didn't! Let's go! Firecracker's got the moves! She's making plays.
You can't keep getting away with it!
All right. I could Earthquake again, and I think that's ideal just to kill the Tesla a bit faster. Then going for a mini P.E.K.K.A, Ice Spirit on top of our opponent's Ice Spirit. He's going to go Drill, which is super suboptimal for us again, but it is a necessity for us to defend this with a mini P.E.K.K.A. It's the only way we're going to be able to stop this. The Firecracker almost gets a paw print on the tower, but doesn't. We're trying to get Skeletons down here, which I think is ideal. That should be more than enough, and we're just going to Earthquake cycle this guy down to the depths of despair. Even with one of the most overpowered decks in the game, we should be victorious here. We're trying to cycle our cheap cards. If you guys are noticing, we're dropping like 1 and 2 cost cards the entire time. Because if we're able to do that, we're going to get quicker back to our Earthquakes and logs. 500 HP was a death sentence for our dude, and all we had to do was play out the formality of cycling back to our stuff. All it takes is one good interaction where you keep your Evolved Firecracker alive for your opponent to die. It's a zero-sum game where only one thing is left living. All right, TRS. He's going to have a Giant Skeleton and an Electro Giant in the banner, giving us the peace out emote. He is one with us. He knows me. Hey, if you guys ever play against me, drop the peace out emote at the very start, and I will give it back. So, hopefully, we can throw back some skill at this guy. Getting one of the Skeletons on the tower would feel phenomenal, but not necessarily going to be the case. One cool interaction, if you guys don't know, the good thing that you can do with Earthquake into a Tesla is it will always hit a Tesla underground. Other spells like a Fireball and then a Poison, they don't hit the Tesla, only the Earthquake. Anyway, this guy is definitely going to go in for a King Tower activation with a Tornado. I can sense it. Whenever we see Bowler and Tesla, there will be a Tornado. Maybe we can make a prediction with this log and hit Skeletons or something. Yo, mini P.E.K.K.A, let's go. That was awesome. So because I knew he had a finite amount of Elixir, he already went in for his Bowler. He didn't have Tesla in cycle, so he's forced to Tornado. We could reliably do that type of play where we're going to go in for a mini P.E.K.K.A afterward because his Elixir wasn't enough to counter the mini P.E.K.K.A and the Hog Rider simultaneously. So you have to think about what are my opponent's answers to my cards and how much Elixir do they have on the operation table. If they can't fulfill the procedure, you're destined to get damaged then. Also, what if we hold the Baby Dragon in place So then the firecracker splashes onto the baby dragon and hits tower. I think that's another resourceful way to get damage in a matchup that is pretty undesirable for me, not gonna lie. We're gonna go for evolved skeletons on the left side so we can keep his elixir at a low amount of space. Because he has to defend against that. He has the Barbro, which is a -1 trade. It's not like amazing for me, but it's not bad, right? Like, I'll take it every time. And then we can go in for Hog Riders a bit faster than our dude. And if we keep ourselves at a low amount of elixir, our opponent at a low amount of elixir, he's dropping cards that he doesn't want to. Like that evolved Tesla, he'd rather save that for our Hog Rider. If we Earthquake, I think that's a bad play. We rather wait for the Tesla to expire, then go Hog Rider, and then Firecracker immediately again. Because there's no Barbro, he'll probably bowler. I think he has to bowler this. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just knows that the tower's gone. Yeah, he could have bowlered, but then he wouldn't be able to knock the Hog Rider back in a straight line because he was going to be avoiding the Firecracker splash damage. If you avoid the Firecracker splash damage, the Hog Rider is going to still get onto your tower, and then you're dead. So all I have to do is defend a graveyard, and I win. Oh, it's an Electro Giant deck. Wait, this is a little bit different. I dropped a mini pack on offense like an idiot. Guys, I don't know if I win this anymore. Yo, this is looking really bad. This is actually looking really awful because of that aggressive stance that I did. I thought we were playing against Graveyard. I was like, all right, got to save Earthquake. And it turns out my Earthquake does nothing in this matchup. We're going to log, wait for that Baby Dragon to lock onto our tower, reset it with an Ice Spear, and then go Ice Golem up high because he probably has Lightning. So we do win this match. Very fun game and not the easiest snatch at the end. He will Lightning me in like 2 seconds, and it will kill our Mini P.E.K.K.A, but it's still fine because we have Evolved Skeletons and Logs. So if we Ice Spirit with the Evolved Skeletons, they will start to multiply and they won't get defeated. You want to Ice Spirit so the Electro Giant doesn't reflect back the Skeletons' damage and kill the Skeletons. That was a pretty trippy game against TRS with Evolved Tesla, Bowler, and Tornado. Our Hog Rider luckily didn't get tripped up and found a way to win. We finally trotted up to become ranked in Clash Royale at 8,800 in the world. Yo, we got a game against a P.E.K.K.A banner. You already know we played against P.E.K.K.A first game of the day. I think we're going to match into it again.
Leave me alone!
This time, we're going to have a complete grip on the game until this guy is dead. So, he is going to be protecting his king with his precious zappies at the start. It's important for us not to get arrowed away at every twist and turn, but as you guys saw earlier, we should be able to ferociously cycle Firecrackers, so it won't be that much of a disadvantage for us if we play this well. I am going to try to get away with an Evolved Firecracker a bit faster than our opponent would anticipate. Holy, my guy! You got a bar pipe. Okay, wait. This is a weird game. I don't know if I can do as well into that. I haven't played against that in forever. I actually do not remember the last time I played against a bar pipe. We're gonna Ice Golem. Maybe we can juke him and make him respond to the Ice Golem and then go for like skeletons here. Get him to go recruits and then arrows on the Firecracker. No. Don't Barbaro on me. That's not going to work. What are you thinking? You have to arrows on this. You have to arrows on this. Respect my Firecracker, sir. And when he arrows, we're back to another one. That's the strategy. You use the first Firecracker as bait, so then the second one is where they have their downfall. So this one right now is going to be huge for us. If we even have to drop it, I think we are. We're going to drop it right into the zappies. He'll get back to Barbaro faster than he gets back to arrows, and we can go for skeletons to protect the Firecracker too. So there's multiple ways of us navigating the situation and not even caring. Yo, he's dead. Games are too easy sometimes with this deck. I'm telling y'all straight up, if you play your Firecracker cycle correctly, even if your guys are playing against someone with Barbaro and arrows, multiple ways of eliminating your Firecrackers, you will win. Mini P.E.K.K.A is like, Jake, we're salvaging the situation despite getting fireballed. We're going to go and fire our opponent's Dagger Duchess. It shouldn't even be played. To be honest, Dagger Duchess works phenomenally if you're playing an Electro Giant deck or if you're running Sparky or something that is totally all in. With recruits, I wouldn't recommend using it. I would always use a Princess Tower because I'm scared of losing against Graveyard personally. Situation's super great for our guy. He's not winning. Kind of crazy to clobber my main deck in the last match of the day, but since I've played it so much, I know its weaknesses. When a high elixir deck that moves that slowly doesn't have arrows in cycle, there's no way for them to stop the Firecracker. Our Firecracker gave us a complete chokehold on the game against Death Grips. Slash the like button if you enjoyed today's video, subscribe for more daily content, and have an amazing rest of your day.